Civil Service Commission advocates national unity. Presidential Advisory Committee on Anti-Corruption Partners TETFUN. Welcome to the AM News on Television Nigerian. I am Cynthia Agbo. A recent workshop for commissioners of the Federal Civil Service Commission has emphasized the need for national unity to enable government implement its policies and programs. TVN Bennett Joshua has more on this report.
Nigeria is a country with diverse culture, ethnic nationalities and interests. The country's diversity is witnessed in the various agitation for national relevance by the different interests in the country. To help create national unity and give all citizens a sense of belonging, especially in job creation, Act No. 34 of 1996 set up the Federal Character Commission. In a recent seminar that brought together all commissioners and representatives of ministries, departments and agencies, the agreement centered on bringing to fore efforts by governments through the Commission to promote national unity.
The Constitution did not attempt to make a mistake, neither did it commit any error. It was a deliberate provision that every state of the Federation, Mr. Chairman, must be represented in such a very key, important commission like the Federal Character Commission.
I want to believe that Federal Character is on its own mandate, trying to carry its function. Believing that the National Assembly too will be acting and working on the reports that will be turned in from time to time.
I expect you to take the message back home by adequately informing their excellencies, the executive governors of your respective states, to imbibe the spirit of federal character, or rather states or local government character, in all aspects of appointments, recruitments, and the spread of socio-economic amenities and infrastructural facilities in order to maintain the balance.
We continue to pledge our loyalty. We shall continue to support the government in realizing its full mandate.
The Commission will also direct public efforts towards nation building. Bennett Joshua, TVN News, Abuja.
The Presidential Advisory Committee on Anti-Corruption is partnering the Tertiary Education Trust Fund to drive government's anti-corruption effort to the education sector. In this report, Bennett Joshua underscores the relevance of the partnership.
As part of government's effort to ensure transparency and rid the country of corrupt practices, the chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee on Anti-Corruption, Ise Sage, says agencies must key in. This formed the basis of his visit to Tertiary Education Trust Fund. The visit is aimed at sharing notes on way of partnership in the fight against corruption.
During your training, and we're going back very, very comfortable that the funds of TETFUN are being well spent, being well monitored, and producing good results on our training. So we're very grateful.
The fund's executive secretary, Abdullahi Bafa, says the fund is ready to partner with relevant government organizations to sanitize the system.
People were going to all sorts of charities in the name of conferences. They're just going for tourism and picnic. And we said we will not approve any scholar to go to any conference that is not an academic conference.
The meeting was an opportunity to share thoughts on the best way to drive government's anti-corruption war in the education sector. From Abuja, Bennett Joshua, TVN News.
Moving on, the recent remarks by a former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Theophilus Danjuma, accusing the Nigerian military of colluding with killer headsmen, has continued to generate controversies. A guest on Television Nigeria's program Issues of the Moment, Amos Dunia, said the remarks by the former Army Chief was not out of place.
What the Danjuma said is nothing new to what others have said before now. But the difference is the personality of Danjuma. That's what has created this report. Be that as it may, Danjuma was conscious with his choice of words. He said they are colluding. Collusion could mean different things. It could mean inaction. It could mean refusal to act appropriately. It could also mean deliberate act to turn the other way when certain things are happening that are supposed to nip in the bud. Be that as it may, I do not see a respected T.Y. Danjuma going off the course.
Amos Dunia, who is a one-time Abuja chapter president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, lambasted what he described as the inability of the government to bring suspected headsmen to book. He called for an overhaul of the country's security architecture, insisting that President Muhammadu Buhari must take proactive measures to guarantee the safety of lives and properties. After the break, NGO holds town hall meeting on electoral process. Thanks for staying tuned. As the processes leading to the 2019 general elections gathers momentum with the electoral umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission, in the process of updating the electoral registers, a non-governmental organization has organized a town hall meeting to help educate the electorate on their civic and electoral duties. Our correspondent has more on this report.
The Electoral Act stipulates that Nigeria requires a comprehensive awareness and empowerment program to educate the citizens about their responsibilities and the obligations of the state in a democracy. Against this backdrop, a non-governmental organization, the Progressive Impact Organization for Community Development, convened a town hall meeting targeting the market women. The central message on the need to maximize the continuous voter registration exercise ahead of the 2019 general elections, and also caution their children from being used as political talks.
Many Nigerians, over 70% of Nigerians, are staying aside and they don't participate, and that is why the few that are participating can take money and bribe the fewer people who are around.
The day when they vote, you say you no go vote, they rest, make you rest today. When they don't vote finish, you say who win. You vote? You don't vote, you say who win.
The representative of the Independent National Electoral Commission Voter Education and Publicity, in a reaction, says that deepening the nation's democratic process is a responsibility of all. She restated the Commission's commitment of cleaning up the voter registration before the 2019 elections.
Because we have acted within the ambits of the law, we don't have cases at all of underage registrants. The Commission is into a lot of advocacy so that we get to know when someone dies.
She restated the Commission's commitment of cleaning up the voters' register before the 2019 general elections. The town hall meeting is also expected to hold across selected states and rural communities in Nigeria. Charles Ibe, TVN News, Abuja.
And moving on to sports, the Super Eagles of Nigeria arrived in London from Poland on Saturday ahead of Tuesday's friendly match with Serbia at the Hive pitch and have commenced training at the same venue for the match. As with last Friday's encounter in Wrocław, where they won 1-0 against host Poland, the three-time African champions are up against another Russia 2018 World Cup-bound squad. However, the Super Eagles squad is further fortified with the arrival of strikers Junior Ajayi, Gabriel Okechukwu, and midfielder Mikel Agu, who was called up owing to the inability of Captain Mikel Obi to travel from China. Serbia is ranked 34 in the world by FIFA, 18 places above Nigeria, and will face Brazil, Switzerland, and Costa Rica in Group E at the World Cup finals in Russia, while the Eagles will take on Croatia, Iceland, and Argentina. And on to the foreign scene, South African police will this week issue former President Jacob Zuma with a court summon over corruption charges for a year-old $2.5 billion arms deal. A spokesman for the Hawks Investigative Crime Unit made this known in South Africa. Also, the National Prosecuting Authority said it would seek to prosecute Zuma on 16-count charges, which includes fraud, racketeering, corruption, and money laundering, charges which the former leader has repeatedly denied in the past. Russian businessman Sergei Mavrodi, whose MMM pyramid scheme derived millions of Russians of their savings in the 1990s, has died of heart attack. The 62-year-old was rushed to the hospital late on Sunday with pain in his chest and died several hours later. Mavrodi's MMM financial pyramid was a typical Ponzi scheme in which earlier investors received their profits from subsequent investors. Mavrodi promised returns of 20% to 75% a month, as well as lotteries and bonuses for investors. From 2011 to 2016, Mavrodi launched Ponzi schemes under the MMM brand in India, China, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Nigeria, and in many other countries. Mavrodi's operations were subsequently shut down or suspended. To end the news, a recap of the major stories. Civil Service Commission advocates national unity. Presidential Advisory Committee on Anti-Corruption Partners, TEDFON. That's the AM News and Television Nigerian. But before we go, I leave you with this thought. Fill your mind with positive thoughts, and soon negativity will steer clear of your surroundings. Thanks for staying tuned. I am Cynthia Agbor. Do you have yourself a wonderful day?